Welcome everybody to Rob's MetalWorks. We are here at the home studio yet once again to bring you the best, and if not the best tonight, with the band called Nahaya. You have seen them here on the program before, and tonight, yes, we are having such a grand time with the band. Gentlemen, welcome to the program. Great to have you here.
What's up?
What's going on?
Oh man. You know, lots to talk about. I'm actually kind of stumped about where to start because Semir and Dan, you guys know I have a long history with Nahaya. I've always supported you because I think you guys are great, and I've been so kind of dumbfounded this year because when I had heard about some of the transitions happening with the band, I was like, oh man, you know, God, how's this band gonna bounce back? There are other bands maybe who might have changed their name or gone with a new group or done something different. And when I heard you guys were gonna continue with Nahaya, the first thing is that I thought, and I'll be frank, I'm like, these guys, I don't know how they're gonna reach the greatness again of where they were when I first interviewed them back in 2018. But you did it, and you did it in such a grand fashion. So let Dan or Semir respond here, gentlemen. How first of all, how did kind of the demise of the old band kind of happen? How did it transpire?
Well, it just kind of happened, I guess. I mean, so
it was after. So we did that Battle of Wacken in Los Angeles.
Okay.
And then there was the show. After the show, the vocalist Carl was the first one to leave, and then Ryan following a couple months later.
Right.
And then Zach, but Zach was like not even a year ago he decided to leave. But the thing is, like when that battle happened, it was like a bittersweet. We were so close to playing Wacken. It was like we have to win 2 battles to get there. But all the other bands, I think they only played 1 show. So when we get there, we already played 2 shows, you know. And then we get there, we could just win and then go to Germany. So it will be a big difference for us. You know, everyone was supporting us. So I believe in a way we didn't like talk as much, you know, like metal, fuck the emotions and all that. It's just that we didn't tell each other what's going on. I mean, but in a way, I think we felt bittersweet. I believe. I think everyone felt that way. And then when we come back, we just want to talk about like different directions for the next album because we were having such a following, like you said, in 2018, 2017.
So there was never any discussion about moving away from the name Nahaya.
No.
Oh no. Basically, we had way too many T-shirts left over to sell.
Yeah.
Daniel's smart, man.
And you know,
No, we talked. We discussed it. We talked about it. We just decided to keep going with Nahaya.
Yeah, it's just like it's a matter of. To be honest, man, I think the main thing was because the name was already so unique.
Right.
And then
right.
we were trying to reach like outside of our target, so why not keep it? Like because it's not like we signed a deal and we released albums and the people left. You know, it was a different scenario. It's like we're trying to get there. So if people want to leave and we get new people, and we're still friends with the old guys, so we tell them, hey, we're gonna keep the name. So oh fuck yeah, and then
yeah, nobody had a problem with it.
Yeah.
I agree with you because building a brand is so important, and building the brand and having people like say, oh yeah, I remember those dudes, and not everybody, you know, like us diehards is gonna remember every single member of the band, you know. But yes, you know, I remember I was a big fan of Ryan's, and I thought he was a great guitar player, and you know, tonight Dan was telling me, you know, that your old singer was saying hello, so it seems like things kind of didn't end in a bad note. It just kind of just ended.
Not at all.
We're going to hang out with Carl tonight.
Yeah, cool, man. Cool. Yeah, Carl. So I remember, Semir, you sent me Transcendence Part 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you said, Rob, you know, here's our new record. These are kind of leftovers from the first record. Yeah. At that point, when you were releasing those tunes, was the transition already happening? The change?
I texted Carl first, and I told him, hey man, we got 3 songs waiting, and I want to release those. And he said, I don't know. Why.
But he was already out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said,
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Why don't you already release him? Because the songs are really great. And then Ryan was already cool with that, so he wasn't. And Zach was already in the band. So Zach was the last member of the change. It was mainly just like he got busy. Like he's working all the time. Like when we had a band, I only see him every couple of months. So like I tell him, man, you leave the band, and there's like I'm not seeing you anymore. So, but that album was already done. It's just like we told him, I don't want to waste the songs. The beautiful
Right.
We had basically like recorded those at the same time as we recorded the Transcendence EP. And that was just for those 3 songs were just for like press, basically.
Press, yeah.
Right.
Promos and stuff. So then we just had it, and now that Carl's not in the band, like if we don't release it now, it's never going to be any. It's never going to make any more sense to release it. So
I just don't like the idea of like having a song, like some bands do that. Oh, we had a song in my computer 20 years ago. Come on, man, just release it. Like it's a music.
Yeah.
It's a music.
It's part of the history of the band.
Yeah.
I mean, if you went in there to record it, then obviously let it out. And I think Dan makes an important point. I mean, if it would have, once the new band was in place, it would have kind of been irrelevant to release it. Yeah. So I'm glad you did. I remember when I got those tracks, I thought, yeah, Transcendence Part 2. Yeah, I get it. When I heard that some of these changes were happening, I was kind of weary, man. I was like, oh, man. Because if you recall, all the followers out there recall, Transcendence, I gave #1 record of 2018 on Rob's MetalWorks.
So much again, man.
Yeah, I was a huge fan of the band and that record. And then today, I posted, or yesterday I posted like fucking Vital Alchemy candidate record of the fucking year again. Like, what the fuck?
I love it, man.
Seriously? I'm like, man. So, trust me, guys, I'm really happy. Like, I'm so happy because you guys have been one of my favorite bands, and you're continuing to be one of my favorite bands. And as we were talking tonight, it's all just about the music, dude. Mm-hmm. It's all about the music. And I remember when I first saw the first semblings of the new band, you guys had released some like rehearsal footage on YouTube or Facebook. I think it was on Facebook, some on your phone or some shit. And I was like, man, this sounds rough. But I remember like, okay, it's on a phone, fucking. Carl sounded, Jake sounded kind of rough, and I was like, oh man. I was like, okay, we'll see what's gonna happen.
We were still putting the
We'll
pieces
see what's
together.
gonna happen here. I had my doubts. Really, but when I got the new record, I was fucking blown away. So let's start there. So the songs that are on this new record, Vital Alchemy, were these songs that were already in the archive, or the songs that you were kind of developed with the new lineup?
Some of it I had started writing, I guess, near the end of the production of the first one. Mm-hmm. It was kind of steady, kept steady writing since we released Transcendence, and some of those ideas are as old as that, and some are a little newer. Just kind of.
Yeah, and then I think the newest one was the. There's only 1 or 2 songs that we finished with the new lineup, but other than that, like the Defect Master one we released, I think Daniel already had that song when Carl was in the band, but we never. The thing about Daniel, he's got at least another full album in his computer.
Great.
Yeah, it's like,
Great. And of course, we all know the pandemic happened this past year. And you guys are about to release this record upcoming in May. So how did all of that come into play? The pandemic.
Yeah, we were supposed to start working on the album, the December before the pandemic, or November, December.
Yeah.
Around the pandemic, and then we couldn't get in the studio just because safety concerns and all that, and we got pushed back quite a bit. I think Clifton opened up Dead Room for a little while, so we started getting to work in April or something like that.
Yes.
And then, COVID scare closed it down. We're out of the shop again, and then it just kept going like that. And we're out.
Yeah.
There was a concern at one point that I might have caught COVID from somebody, so we had to back out for another while, right? So I got a negative test result.
Yeah.
So it was just really complicated. There's a lot of stop and start and stop and start.
But the plus side will be we got David.
Yeah.
So like while that was all happening, we had a drummer change.
Yep.
Like I love Zach, we're still friends and stuff. You just did
And David, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Semir, but David, you may not know this, but I know about you. And
I know your secrets.
in a good way, David. I've always known you're a good drummer, and I've seen you play before. I saw you with Scars, and when I found out you were in this band, I was like, oh, that's good. David's a good drummer. Thanks. And I was like, yeah, that's good. And then I knew about John, too. Let Jake share a little bit about it, because I think more people might be new to Jake. You were new to me, Jake. I didn't know anything about you tonight. Off camera, I was asking you a little bit about your background. Share a little bit about that background with some of the people tonight who are watching the show.
Okay. Yeah. I live in Round Rock, and I played in a couple bands out of Austin. A couple deathcore bands, metalcore bands. Then I started getting into like folk metal. The last thing I did was kind of like black metal, death metal. I was singing for Vesper and Sorrow for a little bit. I left over the summer, decided to kind of focus on this.
Yeah.
And that's actually how I got into this. I guess John had ended up joining the band, and I had brought John into that band because the guitar player over there had left. Me and him were just talking about shows and stuff. Yeah, and he threw my name out to these guys and recommended me to them.
Oh, okay.
So they sent me the songs. I sent them some lyrics. I was like, hey, this is what I got going on. And I said, hey, if you have, if we do a tryout, I'll just show you what exactly I'll be doing for your next recording. So I just pretty much, all the stuff you hear on the record's pretty much kind of like,
So there was a time eventually when you came down a jam with these dudes?
Yeah, I came down to their jam spot and,
Quite a bit. Trooper.
Yeah.
Like every week.
Fuck
yeah, I've been driving down from Round. It's like a 2-hour drive, hour and a half. But I thought it'd be cool. I had a lot of free time.
Thank you for being here tonight.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I was really stoked. And like I said, like I had not been familiar with you, and then I would read people's posts, and I said, well, some people know about Jake, and when I got the record, I was like, oh God, yeah. And I think one of the things that I love about Vital Alchemy is the fact that, your vocal approach to Nahaya is a bit more diverse than I think what they had with Carl. Okay. No diss on Carl, but it's broader, and you can do a few different things with your vocal style. And I think when you do that, that opens up, Dan and John to do other things on guitar too. Yeah. And that really helps the diversity of the record. But nonetheless, Nahaya was always kind of known for like being speedy and fast and intricate, but yet you're still doing that. But yeah, we can do a couple of interludes in here and there and throw in some acoustic stuff and things like that. And we're going to talk about Incubator, one of my favorite songs. We're going to talk about that later. So Semir and Dan, you heard Jake, and what were your thoughts? You're like, yeah, we can work with this dude.
Oh yeah, I think the first time we brought him down to jam or audition, I guess, I was into it. He did this kind of cool thing with Deific Mask that wound up kind of sticking with it. It's like, oh, dude, that's neat. So kind of like
Mask.
Yeah. So like that's the funny thing about the editions, man. When we posted for a vocal edition, like we're still kind of local band around.
Yeah.
And then we got so many people. I was so surprised. There was people from New York City. And then I tell them, what's going on, man? And then
we're not buying your plane ticket.
I know. Yeah.
Exactly.
And then they were terrible, but it's just like. Jake came in and said, I don't want to do like phone or whatever. I'll just show up. And he just came in and did a Deific Mask like in front of us, and that's amazing. That's great. And then we just immediately like hooked up, man, and it worked.
What better way to make a first impression than in person?
Okay, he drove 2 hours,
Fuck yeah, that's nothing. 2 hours. And now look at him now. Great fucking record under your belt that's gonna live forever, bro. Yeah. Fucking live forever in the fucking metal scene. And I'm sure you know, but I'll just reiterate for all the young people out there. But one of the great things about what I do is because all you guys are like now part of like the history of the cloth of San Antonio metal that will live on forever, long after Rob's Metalworks, long after all of you guys. I had some young kids in here the other day. We were talking about alienation and fucking talking about all these old, Pitbull Daycare and all these old SA bands. And they're like, Rob, who are these bands? I'm like, yeah, dude, let me tell you about them. So it's a history of San Antonio. So you guys met, got the lineup together. Was there a lot of pre-production before you kind of went into the studio?
Oh yeah, we did all the pre-production at my house. Just programmed drums, just tracked it all on Reaper. Brought Jake over to demo vocals, and I had never recorded vocals before, and it was just the most awful thing ever. No discredit to Jake. It's just like I didn't really know what I was doing.
Oh, just because you're not a vocal guy.
Yeah, so we had the whole thing. All the guitars, synth, bass, drums were programmed. Poorly tracked vocals.
Yeah. It gave us a blueprint, though.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Yeah.
So it's kind of neat, and we were able to take it into the studio and save some time there.
Yeah. One of the things too, Dan, I know what a great guitar player you are, and great guitar players though still need people to compliment them. And I had seen, like John, like I was telling you earlier, I'd seen you play before several times, and I knew you could shred. I knew you were technical. I knew you could play. But when I heard that you were here with Dan, I was like, oh, I wonder how he's gonna mesh with Dan. And that's always kind of important. The guitar player is always at the heart of it. So how did let John share a little bit about how you kind of felt kind of working with Dan? Was it difficult, or was he welcoming, or was he an ass?
Kind of an ass.
Like, do what I tell you to do. Exactly.
I mean, the thing with my history and with the dudes in Nahaya, like I've kind of been associated with them for a while, even way before I was in the band, because me and Semir had been friends, and so I had already known these dudes, so I already kind of had like this little relationship with
that's
them.
good.
So I wasn't just this new guy that tried out that
Right.
they didn't really know. They didn't.
Like Jake. Or like Jake, he totally knew.
Yeah, Jake was a new guy that I just kind of recommended because he and I were in Vesperian Sorrow. So as far as like, was it difficult as far as how me and Dan mesh? Yes and no. I mean, me and Dan have kind of different styles, different influences. Like he would do things that weren't out of my range, but I just was like, this is kind of difficult because I don't do this that much. Or I would maybe do something he doesn't do so much. So me and him have like kind of like this very different playing field that we were like, okay, and how can we blend this so we can come in the middle and make something kind of unique sounding,
right?
Because but
is that I mean, I'm not a musician, but I mean, is that a good thing?
It can be.
Yeah.
It kind of depends on your approach.
It depends on it really depends on the person, really. I mean, usually that can be a bad thing if the two dudes have an ego and they're like, no, I want to go this way because this is what I like, this is what I listen to, this is what I love, and et cetera, et cetera. Because me and Dan both have our different music tastes, and maybe we both like, because we do likes a lot of the same bands, and there may be some that we just don't listen to, but in the end, we kind of come together like, okay, what's your approach on this section? What's your approach on this section because of our different backgrounds? So we, instead of like looking at it from an opposition, we're like, okay, how can we bring our differences and make a cool ass sandwich of delicious riffs,
Yeah.
A jam sandwich.
Yeah, a jam wish.
Well, you seem like a cool dude too. I mean, I'm sure it was, Dan too was also probably thinking, man, I hope this dude's, cool too, so receptive to a lot of the feedback and yeah. So that's great. And that's a cool thing about our metal scene too. We kind of all kind of know each other and stuff. Okay, so let's dig deep into this record. All you people out there, in case you don't know, the brand new one from Nahaya is coming out May 21st. Shortly after you watch this interview. It's called Vital Alchemy. Vital Alchemy. Oh man, I love that word alchemy. I'm one of these guys. I believe in the mystic, and when I saw the video for Deific Mask, I see Jake snorting all the smoke and shit. So I'm like, yeah, that motherfucker's into alchemy. Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about this record. When did y'all go and you guys recorded at Stone Creek? Yeah. Tell me a little bit about that. What's up with Stone Creek? How did obviously you guys have a history there.
Oh yeah.
And obviously you guys have gone back. So there's something about Stone Creek that you like?
Well, first one actually we did at Dead Room Studios.
Yep.
Clifton's old space, and this is the first thing we done at Stone
Yep.
Creek, and it was awesome. Yeah, it was like we liked what Clifton did before. just out of his garage, right? No.
Cliff, the consummate
Now
professional.
he has a studio. It's that much better.
Yeah. And so when you guys said it's time to record, there was never any second guessing about recording with
Yeah,
Cliff.
we signed right back on with Clifton.
Yeah.
I just love being around Clifton, man. Like when we record,
He's a great guy.
He just makes me smile all the time.
Good vibes.
It's like you remember, like imagine you're recording these fast songs, right? And everything is like on like concentrated. There's like metronome going on. He's always comes and like tickles me and stuff. Like, well, for many people, for technical metal and stuff, it's kind of annoying, but I love that. It's just like, oh, you're in my room, like hanging out, and then goes inside the recording. It's like become part of you, and then he loves this style. So yeah. So
One of the things, and let my man back here speak to that, because I know he loves to record drums.
Oh, dude.
Oh man, he does drums well, and David, like I told you before, man, I think you're a great drummer. So like working with Cliff had you worked with Cliff before?
I worked with Cliff probably like almost a decade ago.
Oh wow.
He probably barely remembers that. I barely remember it. But it was a great experience, and Clifton's just like one of us. Like he's just a cool dude, and he knows what we want to hear. You know what I mean? So it worked out really well.
The drums sound great on this record.
Thank you, man.
And when I think about recording, I always think about, okay, they have to start with the fucking drums. And if the drums are fucking off to a good start, then I think the record's off to a good start too. So yeah, I mean, great, man, awesome. So did you guys already have all like the 6 songs already done?
Oh, I just want to say we got to give mad shout out to Damien also.
Damien Omen.
Yeah, the dude's like a fantastic guitarist, and he knows like a shitty performance when he hears it.
Did he help
and
with
will
the?
just keep cracking the whip until you do it right.
He's a fantastic vocalist, man.
Oh yeah.
Not many people remember that, but he's got a better.
Oh yeah,
producing
I remember.
vocals in the studio. In the studio.
So let's talk about that really quick, and not to harp too long, but there's a difference between just recording and someone who's being a producer.
Yeah.
So he was a producer. He kind of really helped you.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Kind of jump some of the hiccups in writing this songs or recording these songs.
He coaches a lot on like the vocal lines.
Oh yeah.
Especially.
Yeah.
He was like, extend this out, he's like, let's do a melody
that,
here,
do this.
let's do a harmony.
That's a producer.
So,
I
appreciate that stuff too. So.
They're gonna miss him. They're gonna miss him out there. I'll say that on camera. Damien, we love you, and I've always respected how talented he is, and I go way back with that guy, way back, early '90s, fucking the Owsla, yes, at Wacky's Deli. So yeah, very talented man, and that's great that you guys, Dan, that you gave him props for that.
Oh yeah.
So the record's done. Let's quickly talk a little bit about. I was kidding about deific mask and in the alchemy and shit, but I also kind of really like a lot of what this record is saying. So lyrically, kind of what is this record talking about?
I'm not qualified.
That's almost.
So I think at the time, like, I was reading a lot of different like books, listening to a lot of different lectures. I was into certain practices and stuff personally, and
Put the good voodoo on me, bro.
well, like I like metaphysics and like world
Sure.
spirituality, and just like I kind of going outside of just traditional Western like spiritual stuff. And I think at the time I just kind of wanted to write some songs like this. I really needed to get this out of my system, and I really appreciate these guys letting me kind of do this, because I've had bands like before where I'd kind of try to do this kind of stuff and they, it didn't really jive or whatever. And I think it's just something I need to get out of my system. I'm always reading different books or just checking out different things, and it's kind of ranging. It could be, could be from like a film I watched or something, something like that. So, yeah.
Yeah, all these crazy satanic Hispanics down here. We're not afraid of that shit. We want it. We're not pussies like those dudes from Austin. Yeah, we're not afraid of the fucking alchemy. Oh, that's cool, man. I think that cool. Like, I like that. I think a lot of people are nowadays. I think as we enter like the 21st century, deep into the 21st century, I think more and more of the young people are kind of moving away from traditional religion and belief systems, and we're more adverse to believing about the fact that we're not alone in the universe, and that maybe a lot of what we've learned in our history is not always true. And we're opening up our minds, we're transcending what we have in the past. And I think when you think about alchemy, and you think about people like Nostradamus or Isaac Newton, who used alchemy to kind of conjure up a lot of the things that they did, and the great breakthroughs that they did, back in those dark ages, they were able to fucking do great things. We've kind of lost a little bit about that because we're so scientific now, but still, there's culanderas out there who still believe in that shit. But yeah, that's great, man. Thank you so much for sharing that, Jake. Let's talk about how the record deal happened with Rockshots Records. How the fuck did that happen?
So what happened?
So tell us a little bit too about Rockshots, because I think maybe some people out there. I was talking to some people on the back end tonight at the dinner. Believe it or not, when I was at Carlos Lopez's birthday dinner tonight, Larry Berrigan from Hellstar was sitting right next to me, and I was telling him, I have to leave here at 6:30. I'm interviewing Nahaya tonight. It's like, who's that? I said, dude, they're like one of the best bands in our city, dude. And I said, they just got to deal with Rockshots. He's like, Rockshots? I'm like, yeah. He goes, who are they? And I was like, I really don't know a lot about them myself.
Yeah, so they are kind of upcoming label from Italy. And then, so what happened is in the last 3 months before we got the deal, they've been following me like personally on my social media pages. Yeah. Besides the band, I post a lot of like videos.
Sure.
So they've been liking a lot. Like they've been commenting and stuff. I tell them, hey guys, we have a new record, and then I send it out, and then they came back with a deal. They said the songs are great. Like they didn't even ask questions. They didn't even want to change anything. And then they said songs are great. We have a deal, and deal turned out to be pretty much any easiest like deal we can get, because like those 360 deal, you have to pay, you have to get whatever.
Yeah.
But we're all adults, like we're not like in high school, so we make our own money, right? And then I told him,
like, we don't need this shit, like really, like.
Yeah, and then I told them, like, we're gonna promote this by ourselves. Let's promote it together. That's pretty much what the deal is. And then they said, yeah. And then they released the DFX, and then the income they're getting right now is like, the song passed 25,000 views on YouTube, is like 18,000 on Spotify, and this is our first record with them, right? And they're saying that this is the most like different band they have, because there are many bands are power metal, so they have a speed band with like he's kind of singing. So I'm talking with them every 2 days. Like they're pretty responsive. And
they fucking want Texas metal.
Yeah,
they want our shit, because all the European bands, they do a lot of power metal shit, and it's great, and they're good. They're good players, they're good singers. But they can't do y'all style.
They're no. It's like the way they call us is the Texas Thrashers now. So
Thrashers.
Texas Thrashers. I love it, man. I love the way they call it. And then I think we are only American band there. I think one of the only one. Yeah,
that's cool.
Are we really the only American band?
I think so. The most of them are all European. So the thing is like, you get scared when you get a deal from overseas. You cannot just go.
Yeah.
And
knock
then
on their door.
And then so and then I told him, what are we gonna do with the promotion? It was like pretty much, don't worry about that. And I really did, but the promotion turned out intense, man. Like we've been playing on France in like fucking Belgium.
Dude, you're getting
England.
press all over the world right now.
Yeah, it's intense to me. Yeah.
Shout out Rockshots.
Yeah, it's they've been really, really, really good.
And that's what they're supposed to do.
Yeah.
You have to remember, like back in the day, record labels had their own, American labels had their own publicity department. Now, just because things have become very difficult in the music industry, there's publicists out now who contract with record labels. I think in Europe now, the Europe labels still have their own publicity. Mm-hmm. They haven't gone the route of American labels just yet. So, that is if they have in-house publicity, that's their job, to get you fucking interviews and press. And you guys are getting, you guys wouldn't be getting the press though. First, let me say, if the record wasn't good.
Oh, yeah.
So the record speaks for itself.
Yeah, one of the cool thing about that, when we sound out everything for them, like the songs, the art, Daniel did the most of the job, and we had an artwork guy, Cameron. Let's give him a shout out too. He did a phenomenal work for the artwork.
Oh God, I love the new logo too.
Dude, oh yeah, so he did
killer.
Yeah. So we did everything, and I sent him out, and they said, "So you guys did everything?" I tell him, "Yeah." And then like you said, many bands don't do that. Just like take care of everything. And then they said, "Okay, I guess we just do it." And then that was it.
Just promote, whatever.
That was, and then we like doing that. Like Daniel has always been like taking care of everything for the arts and stuff like that, like merchandise. You know, I think it's when you put your heart into it, it turns out amazing. You know,
Dude, Rockshots won big time
oh yeah,
with you guys.
oh yeah, they
Won
are,
out big time.
they're getting really good reaction, and they've been. I think this album is gonna be one of the biggest release they have this year for sure.
I think it's going to be obviously a huge release for you guys. And one of the things too, you know, about signing to a European label is like you have to remember, like, you know, Italy is about the size of like the valley in Texas. It's very small.
Like the San Antonio,
So
Houston.
like for them to like promote Nahaya, like let's say in the state of Texas, that's like in Europe, that's like 10 countries over there, you know. So if indeed the pandemic does subside, then, you know, they're going to want you guys to go over there and tour. They're going to want you guys to go there and play shows and do stuff and promote the label and promote, you know, the sales of Vital Alchemy out there. I mean, it's just all good.
I mean, physical copies will be available all around the world. So they're doing that in Europe. And then
I want one.
hopefully we get one. Like today,
When I go to the show, somebody better hand me
today,
one.
John was looking at where we're getting played. Dude, we were getting played. Where you said? Serbia? Like, yeah, dude. Like,
There was like Serbia, Bulgaria.
like the places that we didn't even
Because
think
I
about.
had asked him, hey, because the listeners that we had on our Spotify had increased, and I asked him, where are most of those listeners at? I was just curious. And like when you go to
Serbia.
there you go towards the bottom of the list, there's like a couple countries, like Eastern European countries. Like it's a small number of them. It's not like a lot, but it's like just interesting seeing Serbia,
Serbia?
Bulgaria, Singapore was one of them. It's just countries. I was like, ah, cool.
Done, yeah.
I mean, if it was like 100 fans, 100 listeners, I'm like, that's pretty cool. Soon we'll have 1,000 eventually.
Let China do
But yeah,
Well, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, it just all in general. I mean, the what's happening with the record in all different facets is all good and positive. It's blowing up. It's blowing up. So let's move. Let's talk about the video for Defake Mask. I mean, in 2 weeks, it got like 20,000 views.
Oh,
Jeez.
Rockshots.
Oh, dude, yeah,
Jeez.
it's growing, man.
And a lot of like not only just that's the thing too. I mean, not just views from here in Texas, but views from all over the world. That's why those numbers are so high.
Yeah.
Yeah,
David, you
and the video came out great thanks to Ruben.
Ah, thank you, Ruben
Yeah,
Alvarez.
shout out Ruben. Yeah.
Tell us a little bit, Semir. You were telling me off camera, like, Rob, we did the video right before the fucking snowstorm.
Oh, dude.
Yeah,
come here.
it looked gloomy.
This guy got the worst because he had to play drums in 2 different spots, man.
God,
it was bad.
It was rough, man. It was rough. It was cold all day.
What was it, the day before, 2 days before the snow?
Probably like 2 days.
Yeah.
2 days before the snowstorm hit, the quote unquote snowstorm. It's snowvid.
Yeah, it's serious shit. I didn't have any power here in this house.
Yeah, all day it was overcast. All day.
I was in my car charging my phone.
Man, it was rough. It was rough.
Yeah, I had water.
That's good.
Yeah.
It was about
So it was cold out there, and then
12 hours.
you were telling me you're at Jake's property.
Oh, yeah, here we go.
You're at Jake. You have a ranch out
Yeah,
there.
yeah. We my family's had a ranch out in Blanco forever, and I've been wanting to shoot a video out there. Last couple of bands I've been in, you know, we just couldn't get to the point of like, oh, we're gonna do a video. And since this was all going on, I was like, let's go out there and do it. So
Yeah. Cool. I saw the making of.
yeah. Oh my God. So yeah, we got a drone stuck up in a tree for a good like.
Oh yeah, and then Dan was climbing the tree. Dan, are you fucking stupid? I would have told you, get the fuck down. What if you break your arm? What if you fall down and break your arm? There goes the whole tour.
I'm a rigger. I climb stupid shit for a reason.
Oh God, I would have been telling you, get your ass down here.
It was like 20 feet.
Don't risk the future of our band for going
It
up there.
was wet, you know,
Did you get it? You got it?
Oh
What
yeah.
happened? Like, so we got stuck on the tree, and we were like trying to huck frisbees at it and stuff. And,
Who's was that Rubens?
yeah.
Oh
So-
God.
So I had a rope, and I like just climbed up and like put a rope around like 30 feet up. Brought the rope down, and we just started like doing a tug of war to shake it down. It took some trying.
Got it.
Yeah.
Oh God.
I mean, what else that happened that day? Oh, so that.
Are we gonna talk about the fire?
No, so like not really that, but like we used the fire in the video, like a real fire towards the end.
Yeah.
When we thought everything was gonna go just fine for the fire, we had a chaotic moment for the music video, but you can see it in the video that it's happening.
God.
But the Ruben was like so professional, dude. Like it's all this is like fire is happening. He says, keep rolling, and then like just constantly like moving. And then this guy nearly lost his seat on the drums.
I almost died. I almost caught on fire.
Right behind his back.
Yeah, my drum throne actually got cinched a little bit, so some of the leather came off.
And Jake's like this, better not be happening.
Oh, dude.
On my property.
I was freaking out. No, it was bad because like
These guys are
at
gonna
first,
sue me.
at first they wanted to do it under this part where there's power lines and stuff. Like, hey, I think we should move it over here. You know,
Yeah,
thankfully we
yeah,
did, but
yeah.
it was like it was getting so high that it was about to hit the trees and everything. Thankfully, I think since it was like rainy out a little bit, it was kind of wet. You know, if it was completely dry, I think we would have been just fucked. Like honestly, it was so scary. We were like there, and there was like this tub that was around the corner, like by my house, and we had to keep running over there and getting water in these buckets and shit, and going over there and just dousing the fire, like to
Wow.
get it to chill. It was intense.
That could have gone out of control.
It could have, but
It
it
could have gotten out
It
of
worked
control.
out though, like in the best way, honestly.
When we were talking about the songs on the record earlier, I purposely did not talk about Incubator because the video for Incubator will be coming out on April 23rd. That song, I love a lot of the songs on this record. Okay, I love the acoustic of Madness. I love Diffig Mask, of course, the title track. And then you get to Incubator, and I remember when I first heard it, I was like, oh. Yeah, here is Nahaya breaking new ground with what they're doing, and I remember thinking to myself, yeah, they could do this song because Jake's vocals, and it was such a subtle kind of heavy kind of song, and I was so happy to hear that you guys kind of recognize how special this song is, and that we're gonna do the new video for this song. So. Talk a little bit about Incubator. What are your thoughts there? Like, how did that song kind of formulate? What was the premise behind the song? Obviously, something new. Were you hesitant to do something like that, or were you saying like, "Yeah, we're ready. Let's do this"?
Yes, that's an idea I had around for a while. I'd say probably about a year before we started recording it. Right. I just started messing around with it, and I pulled out some slide guitar for the start of it. Kind of, we were getting close to going to the studio. I was like, I need to find something a little more interesting to put in here. So, like, pulled out a glass slide and did that lead in the intro.
Wow.
Like, that's kind of cool.
As a matter of fact, the first idea was a Lone Star beer.
Oh, yeah, actually.
You used a Lone Star
the
can?
first time I recorded it was a Lone Star bottle, yeah. So I think there's a video of that somewhere.
There was a video we did because at the beginning, we were just joking around, like, why don't we make it more country? Right?
Yeah.
And then he did we were drinking Lone Star, and then he said, let me try it. And they just put the slide. It sounded amazing. So then we used it.
I was writing those riffs. I guess I was probably listening to a lot of Battlecross at the time. And so it's
Wow.
got that kind of like major, I don't know, I think it was like kind of I wouldn't say I ripped it off from Battlecross, but it's certainly like influenced.
I mean,
yeah.
with him, yeah. But the thing is, I think the main thing that Jake's vocals are incredible in that one.
Yep.
But this motherfucker right here, man, this right here, that song became huge because of him.
Oh, okay. Tell me about that.
So the Incubator is gonna come out the next Friday. I mean, I don't know when this video come out, but the April 23rd. So
Maybe like a day after.
all right, so that song, me and David have been friends for a while, right? We play in different bands and stuff like that. Every time we play a show, because of the rhythm section, the bass and drum, we had the best time. Like, we always connect because we had the same background and the musical vibes. Incubator, he just put his art out. Like, when we were recording that song, I think he did a 1 take, 1.5 take.
Yeah, just about.
So that song has at least 5 different style of drums in one song. And then we always want to do that, like a different dynamic change. He pretty much shredded the fuck out the drums, man. And then Clifton was like losing his mind. And then he doesn't realize how good he is. So we're trying to tell him as much as we can.
Yeah, no, that song, just putting my finesse on it. It's like that song was meant for me, Like I had so much fun just not just recording it, but playing it. It's so much fun. Like, it's a gas.
I love that song, and I think a lot of people, once they kind of see it, and then I saw the preview of the video. So what's kind of like going to happen with the video?
Oh, that's all Jake, man.
Okay, so
What's the premise of the video?
I wanted there to be kind of like
What is
It's
the
like kinda-
incubator, Jake?
Well, so the lyrics are based off this book by this author, Peter Kingsley. It's called "In the Dark Places of Wisdom," and it's kind of basically about like meditative practices used by the Greeks, how they kind of go into caves for long periods of time, just kind of like they do over in India. You know what I mean? To kind of find enlightenment and whatnot. And there's always those stories of trying to connect to the the mythic gods and all of that, and then there's oracles. You've seen like Greek,
oracles. Yeah,
you've seen like
on 300,
300, that kind of stuff. You
like
know what I mean?
Is that called Soma too?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
familiar to me, so it's kind of based off of that, kind of going into these places and kind of meditating and trying to find kind of an enlightenment, type deal. The video isn't necessarily directly influenced by that. It's kind of influenced by this movie called A Dark Song, which is kind of like that. It's kind of somebody trying to do a certain kind of ritual to kind of communicate to the beyond. And I had my friend Danny come out and act in it, and we kind of just went over these different, I don't know, kind of ideas to kind of splice it. It's kind of spliced in with all of us,
And Ruben shot all that.
And Ruben shot it all. We shot it all. We shot it all in his shed in the backyard, and we kind of put up some sheets and just kind of gave it we just kind of wanted a vibe. That's my main thing. Was like it's not necessarily story like heavy, but it's kind of more of a vibe, kind of like the first one, but more. I think it's cool because it's more claustrophobic, where the first one's kind of open. You know what I mean? 'Cause you have the whole the field and everything. The second one, I thought it was like once I saw the shed and everything. Okay, this is cool.
That's scary.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. It fits the song, I think, though. It's really dark, and I don't know. It's just
that's cool.
It's cool.
That's cool.
Oh, cool, the color contrast too.
Yeah, the colors.
I loved what I saw today in the little preview. And you said you're going to show it to me later, so I want to watch it. Yeah, I'm going to watch it tonight. So I want to check it out now. Let's quickly just give a shout out to Ruben.
Oh, hell yeah.
Thanks, Danny.
He's just been doing so many great things in our metal scene, and apart from being in a killer fucking metal band himself. So thank you, Ruben. He's such a great soul, right? He's super nice guy. He fucking gets it, man. He fucking gets it. Okay, so it kind of seems like we talked about working through the pandemic earlier, but it kind of seems like, at least in Texas, things are kind of lightening up a little bit. The governor, removed some mandates, and if things allow for bands to tour, or if Rockshots says, hey, come to Europe and tour, is that something you guys want to do? I mean, or is you still hesitant about?
I think so. We have a booking agency, management agency wanting to sign us. We're kind of waiting, and we're gonna look around. And we're also, the main thing is waiting to see, we're
definitely wait until after the record comes out.
Well, what also seems like,
because then it's going to blow up, and you can have your choice.
It also seems like the industry isn't coming back to 2022 possibly. Also, we don't want to be paying for something we're not going to get to use something like that. Plus, we want to look around. We think that what we have here is pretty cool, so we want to make sure we line up with a good team and all of that. Plus, we're going to see where they can put us, as far as getting us with a team to get out there and tour.
That makes you a priority.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it seems like things are going well, so I would hope they would want to get us over there as well and kind of see if we can play and do some stuff. So
and if this record blows up, which I anticipate it will, then obviously you guys have more leverage to do more things. So I mean, I just see great things coming from this record, and today, I think I posted yesterday fucking candidate record of the fucking year, man. I love this record a lot. I really, really do. And I was so shocked and happy and kind of overwhelmed. Man, yeah. Because I always knew that, David and John were good players, but still, you have to have chemistry within the band.
It's tricky.
It can be tricky. Yeah. And then, the singer change is huge. So, I mean, but you guys pulled it off, man. You pulled it fucking off.
Most of us have known each other, especially me, David, and Semir. I mean, so we were kind of comfortable playing with each other.
Yeah, that chemistry is so fucking important.
I'm from the south side. I don't know how these guys found me. I don't know how y'all found me.
Semir's the one that knew.
More about Hit a Bowl Cut when we met him.
No.
This is one of the reasons that we become really close friends with David. This is one of my favorite memories. We need to put on a recording. So I'm playing with Eternal Requiem around that time. And by the way, I miss Austin so much. I haven't seen him
Austin Zettner.
Yeah, man.
Shout out Austin.
So I was in Eternal, and then he needed a drummer, and I sent David a message, 3 a.m. in the morning. because I only talked to him like 5 times. He was playing a deathcore band. So I told him, hey, we need a drummer. It's a folk man, fast band. Austin is one of the best guitar players probably in the state. And then he goes like this, I'm kind of like buzzed right now, but I'll do it, yeah. that was his answer, man.
And guys, ask Semir who hooked him up with Austin Zettner.
Oh, then it was you, man. Yeah, it was a long time ago. I can
Shout out Rob.
Yeah,
I remember Semir was here,
yeah.
and Austin had told me I'm looking for a fucking bass player, and we called Semir, and I said,
Yeah.
hey, you got to fucking hook up with Austin.
Yeah,
and that's
yeah,
how
yeah.
it happened. Yeah.
I can. Oh, dude, yeah. And you're on a break. It was.
That's
on your
what
break.
it's all about. It's all
It's a
about
connection.
relationships. It's all about relationships.
It's like the friendship comes, like with him, like John and I, we become a close
Sure.
friend, and David, and that's why when they join, they feel like, oh, we're just in the band now, you know.
For sure. Great, guys. Thank you so much. Am I missing anything? Anything else we need to talk about as we move forward? Anything else I've missed?
I guess just the next album and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, we're already working on it.
Oh God! Don't even talk about that yet. Don't even talk. We're gonna bring you guys back, and we're gonna talk about the next record.
If we get it out before the end of the year, then we got another shot of getting your favorite album of the year.
Oh yeah.
We're like
so that's
doubling up.
we're gonna do that, man. 2
We're
albums
gonna
up
see.
there.
We're gonna see.
We got December.
Oh, yeah, that's,
It won't.
Let's okay, and that's a great segue, Dan. I'm glad you bring that up because tonight, we're jamming here before the interview, and we're listening to a lot of music, and we're playing a lot of local San Antonio music, and like, oh man, this is so great, this is cool. So what you guys? I mean, and I'm not kidding. You guys are really kind of leading the pack now in San Antonio as far as what I perceive as like one of the big bands in our city. Great record deal, fucking great musicians. What do you guys see happening in San Antonio?
Honestly, I've been kind of living under a rock since the pandemic.
So to be honest, like I've been thinking about this idea for about 2 years now. Since like how I moved there and I started playing the band and stuff like that. I was able to meet the people so fast, and then and I went from there. And then I still think that we need to do San Antonio like a Roadrunner United type of album.
Oh, that would be cool.
Because this city has a huge
That's
musician.
a great fucking idea.
Dude, it's like I've been talking like to people, like the John said earlier. If you don't have the ego, when you sit down as a just metalhead, just talk about Metallica, and then you forget everything else, right? And then you connect. And then I do that a lot with the people once in a while, But when I met,
people like you, Semir. That's why you're so easy to get along with, and you're a good dude. There's other people other musicians in our scene. They're not so cool. I mean, they're kind of standoffish, or maybe they're, I'm not afraid to say that, But I think for the most part, people have a good heart, and I think that's a great idea. San Antonio United,
it's just like when I saw David about 6 or 7 years ago for the first time in a Corolla, and then he was playing in the first floor, the bottom floor, and then dude, I couldn't believe my eyes, man. Like, I'm not joking. I'm like telling you from my heart. Like moving here from all the other side of the world, and then like listening to different drummers, different musicians, and then when I met him and I found out everything is natural talent. Then how the fuck is that possible, man? How are you not in Dying Fetus? Like the band.
Yeah.
Full disclosure, in 2015, I heard about Nahaya, and I wanted to be in that band when I first heard about them. Yeah. The band that I had at the time, who broke up, I wanted it to be that kind of style, so I was hoping to play with them. And obviously, look where I'm at now.
Let me get it.
And he did a Photoshop. He did a Photoshop himself on our picture.
And this is a really cool thing. Like, for years, I've wanted to do a project with David. You know what I mean? I've been talking to him like, hey, let's do a black metal project or whatever. And I live in Austin, and I'm still fucking around with guitar or whatever. I'm not really confident in it. He was hitting me up like, man, like I love Nahaya. It's like my favorite band out of San Antonio. Like if you guys ever need a drummer or something happens. And I was like, dude, I'm fully rooting for you. You know what I mean? And then he ends up joining the fold, coming into the fold with us. I'm just like completely stoked,
fucking the
man.
stars align.
Yeah, it's perfect. It's
perfect. Fate, bro. It's
awesome,
fate. And now look at all the greatness that's happening with the fact that you guys, I think this is a huge thing too. The fact that you have a mutual respect. not only as people and human beings, but as musicians, and what you can contribute into the band, and being open, and then coming out with a great fucking record, getting a deal, and soon, trust me guys, soon enough, you're going to be able to do whatever you want. Hopefully that's going to happen. You know, if you want to tour, you can tour. If you want to go to Europe, go to Europe. If you want to fucking not go to Europe, don't go. I mean, that's the thing. That's the great thing about having a great piece of music under your belt, is that once it gets recognized, which it already has been, then, and the record's not even out yet. The record's not even fucking out yet.
And we're hungry. Like you said, we're already working on future stuff. We're inspired. You know,
yeah, keep working. If you right now, while you have the momentum, all this great energy and in the love for Nahaya, then you know. But the thing, you know, you don't have to blow your fucking wad really quick. Keep it in the archive. Fucking, you know, release it when the time's right, you know. But yet you will have that energy of right now, you know, of being fresh and new as a band, you know, and you guys being together. It's so awesome. I'm so happy for you guys. I'm so proud of you guys that you represent our city. Gentlemen, before we end out, let's let everyone in the band say any last words, any thank yous, any supports, anything you want to say to the people in San Antonio and around the world who will watch this interview.
Just anybody that supported us, wherever they're from, just thank you, you know, from the bottom of our hearts. You know, we're going to keep pushing for as long as we can until we're dead, until the world ends.
Yeah, I'd just like to say thank you to anybody sticking by and kind of watching the process with the lineup change and everything, and just staying with us, whether you're into it or not. Just thank you for checking it out.
It's great to be back on the show again. And
you're welcome, Dan.
I just can't wait to get back on the stage soon.
All right. Appreciate you having us, man. It was an honor to be here. Thank friends.
We're still drinking more beer.
Yeah, we are. We're not.
We
done
ain't
yet.
done yet, bitch.
We're not done yet. Thank friends, family, anybody who's supporting us, anybody supporting me. Hi, Mom. Hi, babe. Love you. Shout. Oh yeah, love the dogs. Rusty, Beauty, love you. Shout out Clifton. Shout out Damien.
Yeah, Clifton.
Shout out Ruben. Badass guys. Everybody. Thank you.
Thanks for that In Flame CD. I still have it on.
Oh, wow. Wow.
That's the best thing in my life. And then thank you guys so much, man. Like I said that after we got the deal. It's when we had this local shows, when the lineup changes, our merch sales were so ridiculous to me. Like, it was so high. And thank you so much. Like, that means a lot. And then album after this and after that is gonna be intense, man.
Yeah,
I'm telling you.
Don't stop, guys. I think you guys have something special with this lineup. This is the thing. I'm gonna leave you with some words of wisdom. The thing is, like, if you love each other as a band, you will always continue to make great fucking metal music. Okay, yeah. That's the thing. And the leaders in this band, remember, that's part of your job, dude. Not just playing your guitar or singing. The part of your job also is to keep the cohesiveness and the brotherhood in this band and the love in this band. If you have that, you will continue to make great metal music, and you guys are destined to do that. You've done it with Vital Alchemy, and there's no doubt in my mind that you can do it again and again and again, just as Semir said. Thank you, guys. It's been my pleasure to have each one of you on my show. I love you guys. I love Vital Alchemy. You guys are going to love Vital Alchemy too when it comes out on May 21st. Don't forget, right after you watch this interview, go out there, do a search on YouTube, watch the Defaic Mass fucking video, and by the time you watch this, Incubator video should be out too. Remember, you saw the band fucking Nahaya right here on Rob's Metalworks.